Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Quick look here at Dogecoin. See what's going on. Got another request for this one, of course, just because we have a long position open. And I got to just tell you, folks, got to trust the system, man. It's just it's way too early to tell. But on the same accord, the price is pulling back a little bit. We are starting to see that ABC pattern forming. So we could expect maybe one more lower low, but I don't think it's going to do that here. Again, it all depends on Bitcoin. That's the truth about it. Bitcoin dropped off by about 3% in like 15 to 30 minutes this morning from CPI data coming in a little bit lower than expected. Or sorry, I guess it'd be higher, 3.1 versus 2.9. So that did push the price action down. So this is somewhat of a fundamental catalyst. The TA on Dogecoin is still pretty solid. But once more, we just got to kind of acknowledge a few key factors here. So if you're new to the channel, I'm not a financial advisor. I love to teach people to trade. Hope you can learn something today. If you do want to become a better trader again, cryptocash.tech is a site. Link down below where you can register to be part of our premium group. We got some phenomenal traders in there. And I can tell you it's just an exceptional experience. So thanks again for everyone for just being an awesome part of my life. And I'm super happy to be able to help you out in any way, shape, or form. Speaking of which, we kind of just have some jokes in the community here. It's a lot of fun. Congrats to our community members here for some nice profits for Solana. We got 110% in 20 days there. That was a slightly older trade that we took from a few weeks ago. And again, that's what swing trading is, folks. You said it and you pretty much forget it. And if you are stressed about those trades, you're doing it wrong. You're probably using way too much position size or too high leverage. Okay. So again, you should never be stressed about setting your swing trades if you're doing it correctly. Okay. And those are all things I teach in my trading university and my class. Obviously, if you aren't familiar, make sure you read through my signals guides, folks. If you don't know how I'm structuring my trades, you don't know how to correctly, approach them too, right? We got day trades and swing trades alike. So it's a really cool experience. Be sure to check that out again. cryptocash.tech is a link down below. So let's talk about the liquidation here. Okay, so talked about this previously, and it makes sense that we're going to see that 7.9 mark swept. And the only reason I say that is just because that's where we have a heavier concentration to the downside here. We have a slight divergence on Bitcoin, and even though the Bitcoin candlestick hasn't closed yet today, we could very well see Dogecoin sweep that lower level. Again, that would fulfill our ABC pattern, and we could very well see the price action recover from there. So I wouldn't be surprised if I see that. Again, I structured the swing trade specifically so it'd get filled if that happens, though. You got to recognize that too. It's not a bad thing at all. Again, it just depends on how you structure your own trades. Of course, if you're not doing that, I can see why you're probably stressed, but I have no concern about that trade whatsoever. You shouldn't either, but again, different strokes for different folks. So long story short here is 8.4 and 7.8. I'm rounding up and down a little bit, are those heavy concentrations of liquidation. Okay? So we got 7.8 here and I'm sorry, I already forgot that, 8.4. So 8.4 is this guy right up here. Okay, so those are the two levels that we just want to kind of focus on and pay attention to. It's nothing super crazy here. Okay, so if we take a look at this, Elliott Wave here, just to quickly touch on it before we go to larger time frames, we can see, of course, our C pattern does put us at this lower fib level at 0.236, basically 7.88. I talked about that previously being a support level. The price spent a lot of time there, so if it does come into that level, that'd be a nice little pivot that'd give us a nice, good average fill. But at this point, let's go and take a look at the daily time frame and work our way down and just confirm a couple of other things here, such as the moving averages. Let's clarify this here, because when we talked about this yesterday, we were tentatively peaking, or more so just testing the 50-day SMA. And again, when you come across the 50-day SMA, it takes a few days to get through it in most cases. So we've retested it 1, 2, 3 days in a row. More likely to break through that as we continue to test that. Okay? So I think there's a stronger chance we got there. We also can see this lower level here at the 20-day SMA holding strong as a champ. Okay, and again, I drew basically it was like a cup and handle pattern yesterday for my the swing trade, and even though that cup and handle is tentatively invalidated, it can still be a longer term handle. In other words, it could still be one of these here. So I wouldn't expect the price just to shoot to the moon today, but I would say that if things work the way they should and Bitcoin can just stabilize where it's at and not have any more obnoxious movements, we should see Dogecoin take off. It's just kind of one of those things. So that's kind of where we're at there on the daily. Quickly to note, this is the same thing on most charts. Stochastic RSI is coming down, RSI at 50 is getting tested, and money flow index is coming down. A lot of coins are selling off today. It's just that altcoin Bitcoin dominance situation where the price of Bitcoin is coming down and dominance is coming down, but we had higher dominance yesterday, and that's exactly why we're seeing a sell-off from some alts. Okay, all the more reason why I structured my trade specifically so we can get filled on the way down, and we're not putting too much into our original position. Okay, so again, if you're going 100% into take profit target one, or sorry, entry target one, you're probably doing it wrong. Okay, so 4-hour time frame. Take a look here. We can see that we are kind of treading water here at about 50, 49, 48 range. for RSI. So it hasn't broken below, but this is typically a bearish sign. We can see stochastic RSI swinging down. Okay, money flow index is also right there with the RSI. MACD is diverging. We can see this on most charts as well. Pretty standard just because most recent highs didn't get higher than the previous. We kind of plateaued there, so to speak. So you could summarize it, we're range bound between 8.3 as low as about, I'll just round up and say 8.0. So 8.0 to 8.3 is essentially the range that we're in right now. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at there on the 4 hour. We haven't lost any of the moving averages minus the 20, so it's not a bearish divergence yet. Okay, a lot of people are screaming the fact that alts are just going to continue to bleed out. They could if Bitcoin does. You got to recognize that. But same accord, if Bitcoin can just kind of stay sideways for a little bit, we close at 49K, somewhere in that range, we'll be in pretty good shape here for alts to be able to recover. Okay, but so again, by no means is this bearish. By no means is it bullish. Okay. When you have that on the 4 hour time frame, really just tells you it's a state of indecision, and it's recommended to avoid those trades altogether. Okay? Take a look at the hourly here. Once again, we got our ABC pattern. If this does fulfill itself, which doesn't always, but it's more likely to, we could see a range here, just somewhere sub 7.95, as low as 7.85. Okay, those are, again, rough estimates, but that's generally the consensus there. Okay, so if we take a look at the Ichimoku cloud, this will confirm that we are breaking bearish, but we haven't yet. In other words, lagging span is soon to be free and clear of the price action. Conversion line and baseline are both intersecting, and we're kind of riding this lower lead on the cloud. Okay, so it hasn't confirmed bearish, but in another couple of hours, the price goes sideways. We could confirm the fact that the price action is more likely to go down than up. Okay? That's why you wait for candlestick closures, though. So today, personally, the way this is shaping up here, another 4 or 5 hours from now, we'll get confirmation. That's when the daily candlestick closes. And we're going to know more at that time if it's worth closing the long, opening a short, or just in general, waiting for the second or tertiary entry there for the Dogecoin, and essentially get us where we need to go. Okay, so again, folks, sky is not falling, but there's truth that the price action is pulling back unnecessarily so because of one fundamental catalyst, and that's just the way that crypto works, folks. You got to get on board with that and be okay with these little things. All the more reason why you use low position size and low leverage, so these little shifts in momentum happen. Your whole day isn't blown because you're slightly in the red on the trade. I mean, you take our average position for this coin, just to give you perspective, because I want to talk some sense into some people, whoever you are, you're listening, I hope. 8.1 is our average position here for Dogecoin. So what is it right now? 8.05. Sorry, 8.085 rather. That is a difference of, drum roll please, 0.21%. Okay, so if you're in the red by 0.21% right now, you probably shouldn't be super stressed. Okay, again, too high a position size will cause you to feel that way. Do not feel worried about your trade. Trust in the system. It's designed to ensure we can survive these ebbs and flows the way that they happen in the market. Okay, again, that's just me personally. If you're looking more so for a trader that has precision entries and precision exits, which is very, very difficult to happen if you're sitting there monitoring unless you're monitoring the charts 95% of the day, then I would recommend maybe looking somewhere else. But me personally, swing trade's always been very well for me. They've worked very well, and it's a good system. You just got to trust it. Okay, so hopefully you can learn from this, and I hope you did learn. If you're new to the channel, even if you're not, thank you again so much for watching. Like, subscribe, follow. Check out Bitunix, phenomenal exchange, link down below for this. No KYC or VPN required. Best exchange we've ever used. They're adding 200 trading pairs plus, I think near the end of the month here, the next few months, and we're going to have private trading competitions for those who use my link to register, so make sure you check that out. I do appreciate your time, though. Hope you have a great rest of the day. We'll see you next one. Take care.